Hi, my name is Amaya Wilson, and I'm an intern at New Awakening Recovery Services and Wilkinson Wellness Lab. And today I'll be interviewing Judge Maria Fortune.
Good morning, Miss Wilson. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm doing well. Thank
Okay.
you for taking the time out to interview me.
Yes, ma'am. And thank you for, having this time to be interviewed. Okay. So
Hmm.
let's dive right into the questions. The first
Okay.
question, could you tell me more about yourself and what inspired you to become a district judge?
Well, I am born and raised in Denver, Colorado, and I always, ever since I was probably 13 years old, about probably between the ages of 13 to 15 years old, I always knew I wanted to become a judge. And I think it stemmed a lot about, based on the environment that I was raised in. So I went to private school, but the neighborhood I lived in had a lot of gang violence and drug uh, use going on in the environment. And so a lot of times the people that I grew up around were involved in the criminal justice system. And what I always can remember is they would always come back after they would get into trouble and say that, they didn't see anyone who looked like them or they felt like they weren't represented in the court, and that when they always went before a judge, that they felt like the judge didn't listen to what their story was. And me seeing that a lot of times these were individuals who were just going through different aspects of their life, um, and had a story and a reason behind what they may have done in their actions. I always stated that I wanted to become an attorney first to be able to represent them and give them adequate representation, as well as then be able to be a judge to affect change within the community.
Yes, ma'am. And I see you doing great work now. So
Well, thank
you
you.
did it.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, and the next question is, could you tell me more about the drug court program?
Yes, I am very proud of our Jefferson County Drug Court program. The program is designed to help individuals who are dealing with addiction, and so the gatekeeper to our drug court program is really the district attorney's office. And so a lot of times they will determine whether or not a person qualifies for our drug court program, and it's typically designed for individuals who are first-time offenders. There are also situations where people may have had other prior felony convictions. They have to be a nonviolent offense, but may have got their life together, but may have relapsed, because we all understand that addiction is a disease. And so it does, sometimes it takes multiple chances before a person can get their life together. But what will happen is the district attorney will offer an individual, if they qualify, drug court, and that'll allow them to go through the program, and then at the end have their felony dismissed off their record so they don't have a felony conviction. But what I always tell the individuals who are offered drug court, that drug court is more than just having their felony dismissed off their record. The goal is for them to find purpose in their life. And we use a holistic approach. So we're not only working with them on their addiction, but we're working with them on any underlying issues, such as childhood trauma, grief that they may be dealing with, helping them get employment and helping them, even reunite with their families. And so the goal is by the time that they get out the program, that they are, finding their purpose and back on track, and that we've connected them with a variety of different resources within the community to help them to continue to succeed.
Yes, ma'am. That's great. Okay, and the third question, how do you feel this program has impacted the community of Jefferson County slash Birmingham division?
I think it has been very instrumental within the community. And what I have to say is that, I couldn't do the program by myself. I have to rely on the different resources within the community. And so we partner with a lot of different agencies, but our drug court program is connected with UAB. So our case managers and our different services are with the community justice program through UAB. And I'd have to say that has been very instrumental because it's helped people get a second chance at life. It's helped individuals who may have been looking previously at a prison sentence be able to stay out and connect with their families. And so, and then it also helps the recidivism rate. And so the individuals who are in the program, they're held accountable. And a lot of times I don't see them back in my courtroom because they do get their lives together. The ones that may not be eligible or do not take the drug court option, sometimes they're repeat offenders because they're not really working on their addiction and those those underlying issues. And so I think it is very impactful for the ones to give them that second chance that they all deserve.
Mhm. And have you faced any challenges with the initiatives taken through this program? And if so, how did you overcome them?
Some of the challenges that I face on a day-to-day basis is, right now is the fentanyl. Like, there is um, clearly an epidemic here in Jefferson County and just across the nation of the overdoses with fentanyl. And I find that to be one of our biggest challenges of making sure that we're connecting people with resources immediately. And sometimes just because we don't have enough resources out here in the community. Some of the challenges are, what do we need to do to get that person immediate help so that I don't end up getting their death certificate? So that's one of the challenges that I continue to face, of making sure that um, I'm connecting with a lot of different resources within the community, not only just in Jefferson County, but across the state of Alabama, as well as even in other states, to make sure that if people need immediate treatment, especially if they're using any kind of opioid, that we can get them connected with service immediately. And sometimes the wait lists are so long,
Mhm.
but I think dealing and having partnerships make a huge difference.
Okay. And okay, what does this type of work mean to you?
It means everything to me because at the end of the day, I see everybody as an individual. I see everybody that, that could be my mom, my dad, my cousin, a family member. And so when anyone who comes before me, um, I take it personal to a certain extent because I want to make sure that I'm offering them the necessary services to get their life back on track. And what I say is a lot of times people who are in my courtroom, especially dealing with addiction, um, they just need someone who shows some compassion and who cares for them. And that's why I feel that, that's my goal as a judge is to make sure that I am showing that and giving them that second chance and that opportunity to succeed and to reach their full potential because nobody wakes up on a day-to-day basis and says that I want to be addicted to drugs. I want to go out and use. And so we need to help them find what they need in order to not um, to have some other passion that drives them to want more in life.
That's some great work too. Hard.
Yeah, yes, it is. It is hard, but it's definitely worth it, especially when you have people who come back in their life, come back in your courtroom and they tell you, you've helped me change my life, or I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for, the drug court team, actually investing and sewing into them. So that's, what makes you keep on pushing forward every day when you see the success stories.
Yes, ma'am. And being that you are associated with New Awakening Recovery Services, as a court liaison, could you tell me more about your history with New Awakening Recovery Services and your responsibilities in the organization?
Yes, and so I am so very honored to be the court liaison for New Waking and Recovery, and we work very closely with them. And a lot of times they have a variety of different programs within the community, and so I know they do their conference every year. And so a lot of times I send my drug court participants there because what I find out is a lot of times individuals don't want to go to certain things because they think it's going to be boring. But sometimes when they're required to go, they find out, oh, I've learned a lot, and this was a lot of fun. And then they're connected with other resources. And so, my job as a liaison is to connect individuals who are within the court system who are engaged with the different resources like New Awakening Recovery. And so, we have different women who are part of our drug court program, and we connect them with resources that New Awakening may offer to them. We also have done some other partnering where they've come down to, our courthouse and advised us what their services are. And so the ultimate goal is to basically to connect individuals who may not know about the different services within the community, like New Awakening with New Awakening, so that even when they finish with drug court, they have an agency that they can rely on and depend on.
And final question, what changes do you expect in the community as a result of the drug court program and New Awakening Recovery Services?
Um, we have some different programs that we're looking at expanding with New Awakening in our drug court program. And so, one of the programs is hoping that, as, one of the barriers, there's a lot of different barriers that our clients face on a day-to-day basis. And I know one of them is transportation. And so I know we're working on different ways on how we can help provide transportation to individuals with New Awakening as the court liaison, as well as with our drug court participants, of connecting them with the resources to help them get the services that they need, which will then really help individuals affect change because when we can help them with their transportation, we're not only helping them with, the drug court portion of it, but we're also helping them get their lives back on track with, helping them get to and from jobs or different services that they may need. I think also as a New Awakening expands and grows too, there are going to be a lot more other services that, as far as providing different mentoring aspects of New Awakening that our drug court participants can benefit from. And so I just see it growing tremendously, and I think it's a great partnership that we have with their agency, and Martina Daly is doing a great job with the resources that she has and making sure that not only our drug court participants are receiving it, but other agencies within the community that are needed and that some of our women are also a part of are getting the resources that are offered through New Awakening Recovery. And so my goal is not always my goal is always my drug court participants, but even people who may not necessarily be in my drug court program, I want everyone to have those resources and access to it that New Awakening is providing in the community.
Yes, ma'am. And that's the kind of ambition that, we need more of. And I thank you for doing that and showing your love for the program and for New Awakening. So thank you.
Thank you so much, and I thank you for all you do, and I thank you for coming out to our Thanksgiving luncheon and participating, and it was such a pleasure to meet you there, and I can't wait to see the great things that you're going to be doing within the community too.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
So that was it. So,
Thank you so much.
and
I appreciate it.
yes, ma'am. And I just wanted to say thank you again, for taking the time out to do this because I know your schedule is busy, but thank you for,
Yeah.
sharing your encouraging words and, valuable information that people can watch and listen to.
Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure for you to even think about our Jefferson County Drug Court. And, I'm always excited to, let the community know what we're doing with our drug court participants. And I know, like you said, like our Thanksgiving luncheon is one of our huge um, programs that we offer. And the reason I do it and I'm so passionate about doing it is because so many times during the holidays, that can be one of the hardest times for individuals who may be dealing with addiction because they've lost loved ones who they may be grieving over, or they may have even fell out of contact with their family members. And so I want to make sure that I'm showing them that they have a community out here that is here to support them, that is here to invest in them, and that they don't have to feel like they're by themselves during, the holiday times, which helps them push through and to not resort to using during that time.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So thank you again.
You're
And
welcome. You have a great weekend. Thank you.
yes, ma'am. And you
Uh,
too.
all right. Bye
Bye.
bye.